What if the truth about dinosaurs was once something entirely different? Before advanced fossil analysis and groundbreaking discoveries, some truly mind bending theories about prehistoric life dominated scientific thought. Join us as we pull back the curtain on the top 5 forgotten dinosaur theories that were once all the rage, but now serve as fascinating relics of scientific progress. Let us start with a theory that once captured the imagination of early paleontologists and the public alike: the idea of aquatic giants. Before the discovery of extensive land based fossils, many early researchers believed that the largest dinosaurs primarily lived in water, too heavy to support their own weight on land. This theory often envisions sauropods like Brontosaurus as aquatic creatures, using water for buoyancy and defense. The appeal of this theory is easy to understand. When confronted with the massive size of sauropod fossils, early scientists struggled to comprehend how such enormous creatures could move and function on land. The idea that they lived partially submerged in water seemed to solve many puzzles at once. It explained their incredible size, their long necks perfect for reaching above the water's surface to breathe, and even their supposed inability to chew food which could be swallowed whole in a watery environment. This aquatic dinosaur theory persisted for decades, influencing everything from scientific papers to popular culture. You might remember old illustrations or movies showing Brontosaurus lounging in swamps, barely able to move on land. However, as more complete fossils were discovered and our understanding of dinosaur anatomy improved, this theory began to unravel. We now know that sauropods had highly specialized adaptations for life on land, including pneumatic bones that made them much lighter than initially thought. Moving on to our second forgotten theory, we encounter the notion of dinosaurs as slow, cold-blooded lizards. For many decades, the prevailing view portrayed dinosaurs as lumbering, unintelligent, and cold-blooded creatures moving much like modern reptiles. This interpretation profoundly influenced early artistic depictions and film portrayals of dinosaurs, often presenting them as giant, slow-moving monsters. The cold-blooded lizard theory was based on several assumptions about dinosaur anatomy and behavior. Early paleontologists, working with limited fossil evidence, drew comparisons to the closest living relatives they could find, modern reptiles. They assumed that, like today's lizards, dinosaurs would have been ectothermic, relying on external heat sources to regulate their body temperature. This led to the conclusion that dinosaurs must have been slow and sluggish, especially in cooler climates. This view dominated scientific thought and popular culture for much of the 20th century. It's why you might remember childhood books or old movies showing Tyrannosaurus Rex as a slow, tail-dragging beast easily outrun by fleeing humans. However, the dinosaur renaissance of the 1960s and 1970s began to challenge these long-held beliefs. New evidence suggested that many dinosaurs were active, agile, and possibly even warm-blooded. Today, we understand that dinosaurs were a diverse group, with some likely being warm-blooded and others having more complex metabolic strategies. Our third forgotten theory takes us into even stranger territory: the mammal dinosaur hoax. A captivating, albeit bizarre, hypothesis once suggested that some dinosaur remains were actually those of giant, extinct mammals. This was particularly true for early, incomplete fossil discoveries, when the distinction between reptilian and mammalian characteristics was less clear. Imagine the confusion of early 19th century naturalists when confronted with fossils unlike anything they had ever seen before. Some of these fossils seemed to have characteristics that didn't neatly fit into known categories of animals. In an era before the concept of dinosaurs was fully developed, it's not surprising that some researchers grasped at familiar explanations. One famous example of this confusion surrounds the discovery of iguanodon teeth in the 1820s. Initially, Some scientists thought these teeth belonged to a giant, extinct rhinoceros-like creature. It took years of debate and further discoveries to establish that these were, in fact, the remains of a completely different type of animal. What we now know as dinosaurs. This mammal-dinosaur confusion highlights the challenges faced by early paleontologists, working with fragmentary evidence and limited understanding of prehistoric life. They often had to make bold interpretations based on the best information available at the time. It's a reminder of how far our understanding has come, and how important it is to remain open to new evidence and interpretations in science. Our fourth forgotten theory takes us into the realm of dinosaur intelligence, or rather, the lack thereof. For many years, dinosaurs were widely believed to be incredibly stupid creatures, with brains barely capable of controlling their massive bodies. This theory painted a picture of dinosaurs as little more than living eating machines, devoid of complex behaviors or social structures. The dumb dinosaur theory was partly based on early interpretations of dinosaur brain size. When comparing the size of a dinosaur's brain cavity to its overall body size, scientists of the past concluded that dinosaurs had very small brains relative to their bodies. This led to the assumption that they must have been unintelligent by modern standards. This view persisted for decades and influenced how dinosaurs were portrayed in popular media. You might recall old documentaries or books describing dinosaurs as creatures driven purely by instinct, incapable of learning or adapting to their environment. However, more recent research has dramatically changed our understanding of dinosaur intelligence. We now know that brain size alone is not a reliable indicator of intelligence, and evidence suggests that many dinosaurs exhibited complex behaviors, including social interactions and possibly even tool use in some species. Our final forgotten theory brings us to the idea of dinosaur extinction as a gradual, unremarkable process. Before the impact theory gained widespread acceptance, many scientists believed that dinosaurs slowly died out over millions of years due to gradual climate change or competition with mammals. This theory portrayed the end of the dinosaur era not as a catastrophic event, but as a slow fade into evolutionary obscurity. The gradual extinction theory was based on the fossil record available at the time, which seemed to show a decline in dinosaur diversity leading up to the end of the Cretaceous period. Scientists reasoned that changing global conditions, such as cooling temperatures or shifting vegetation patterns, gradually made the world less hospitable for dinosaurs. This view of dinosaur extinction aligned with the prevailing scientific understanding of geological and evolutionary processes as slow, gradual changes. It was until the discovery of the iridium-rich layer at the KPG boundary and the subsequent development of the impact hypothesis that scientists began to seriously consider the possibility of a sudden catastrophic end to the age of dinosaurs. As we've seen, our understanding of dinosaurs has come a long way since these forgotten theories were in vogue. From aquatic giants to slow, cold-blooded lizards, from mammalian imposters to dim-witted behemoths. These outdated ideas remind us of the ever-evolving nature of scientific knowledge. They serve as fascinating windows into the history of paleontology, showing us how far we've come in our quest to understand these magnificent creatures that once ruled the Earth. Who knows what current theories about dinosaurs might be overturned by future discoveries. The world of dinosaur science continues to evolve, promising more exciting revelations in the years to come.